We have been, in this last 3 days, 4 days, we have had more than 750,000 downloads of our application, which is unprecedented in our history. Actually, unprecedented, I think, for the country. We are running a few hundred kendras all across the country. They are packed. Over 20,000 sales and service partners are there in the market, and each of their offices are packed. Our telecare help center, they are unable to cope with the demand of calls which are coming in. So in this last 3 days, I think the flurry with which the nation is suddenly actually woken up to the reality that it has come was unexpected. So we as a company have been trying to build this up for the last 3 months, but very honestly, the market has been having this false optimism that perhaps the government will recognize that they are not ready and perhaps they will postpone it. But finally, when it is hit, all hell has broken, presently loose. Number of people have managed to switch over, number of people are still in the process of switching over. That's where we are today.
All right. As far as concerns are there, you're saying that there will be initial hiccups. A lot of them didn't really prepare for this and have woken to it right now. How do you see this panning out? How long before? Is it a few months? Is it a few quarters? What's your sense?
So actually, to break it up into parts, right? Businesses cannot operate unless they are making their invoices and their cash flow is going on. So that cannot take weeks and months to settle. That has to happen inside days, hours. So whether people are doing manual invoicing, whether people are using systems to do their invoicing, but business has to run. So to start or keep a business running, it's a matter of days. To get the advantage and impact of GST, it's a matter of weeks. To settle all the processes, I do believe it will be a matter of months and perhaps a couple of quarters. So there are going to be different phases of this adoption and readiness. And that's what we are also seeing in the market right now, that people are presently focusing on keeping that business running, that how do you continue making invoices and how do you continue to therefore keep the cash flow going.
All right. Also, sir, give me a sense of how small businesses are coping. It's vast. India has this huge unorganized sector. A lot of it wasn't really part of the system. One reason why they came up with this taxation law. But how are they really coping? That's, do you think, will be the big challenge? Because as you rightly mentioned, even we went out, a lot of this handwritten invoices, and it seems like they will take a lot of time to understand the nuances and make that switch.
Yeah. So you break again your question into two parts. That at what speed will the unorganized sector come into the organized, will get into the registered framework? That will take a little bit of time, because in spite of the frame of the law, which encourages them and more or less forces them to come into the net, that process will take at least 3 months to 5 months, since the first return processes are going to happen only by September. So that's when the reverse pressure of registration will come into effect. The second part, that how are people coping? See, systems. So people who were already computerized were nevertheless facing this transition problem. That how can they get upgraded and how therefore they can make this invoices. And many people, including some of the organized firms, you will see invoices from established hotels using manual invoicing, because it was not possible for them to convert overnight, and literally on a daily basis and an hourly basis people are converting. So that's a system readiness problem. In a handful of days that should be settled.
All right. Would you agree that this GST is really a big opportunity for Tally? The amount of queries that you've seen flowing in, so you must really be a happy man.
The short answer is yes. So one is happy first as a citizen of the country that this was waiting to happen. We definitely require to continue to eliminate the lacunae and problems inside GST, but that will happen in its journey. We are very optimistic that the government will be receptive now that it is rolled out, and they will make the necessary changes. What advantage it will give to Tally as a company is honestly too early to say. See, we have got such a large user base that presently we are simply focusing on how do my existing users transition and take advantage of GST. And only then I think we will have the time to breathe and figure out how do you get new customers into the fold. And Yes, we are definitely keeping our fingers crossed.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.